Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Rita Wolfson. I am the founder of Financial Social Work and the Center for Financial Social Work. I am a national NASW pioneer and a textbook co-author. You will see that the center will be launching our financial social work micro, meso, and macro practice textbook in June of this year. We're so excited. With us is Linda Benjamin, our relationship manager. She'll be helping us over the course of this training, and Eric Sopp. And if you have any questions you need help with, just go to the Financial Social Work website and you can put it into chat and Eric will help you with any questions you have. I encourage everyone to stay with us because we have a special announcement at the conclusion of this training, and it's something we only do twice a year. So stay if you can. Now it gives me great pleasure to turn this microphone over to someone I care about and respect a tremendous amount and appreciate so much. And you should appreciate her too, because it's thanks to her that we have the free CE today. Valerie, take it away.
Thank you so much, Rita. Hello, everyone. I'm Valerie Arndt. I'm the Executive Director of the National Association of Social Workers in North Carolina chapter. And as always, I want to thank our longtime NASW North Carolina member, Rita Wolfson, for your constant support of NASW. And shout out to Rita. I will say it every time I'm on here. Rita was named our NASW Social Work Pioneer in 2022 for being the founder and pioneer of financial social work. And NASW North Carolina has continued to honor and support Rita and financial social work in educating thousands of behavioral health professionals every year. It's always amazing every time I jump on to see how many of you all have registered and are joining us every month. So April is Financial Literacy Month, and those in financial health and wellness field focus on the connection between money and mental health and are committed to using a behavioral health model to support client change, which Rita is going to talk about today. So I just thank you so much, Rita and Financial Social Work, for hosting this important topic and allowing us to support everyone by approving your contact hours for your CE today. And thank you to those of you all who are members of NASW, especially the members of NASW North Carolina. We are working hard and diligently all the time to advocate for the social work profession, both at the national and the state level. And if you're not a member of NASW, I encourage you to join, reach out to your local chapter and get engaged with us. We have a lot of work to do. There's so much going on both at the federal and each of the state levels. So we enjoy it. We would appreciate you joining and welcome you to engage with us. So thank you so much, Rita, and I will pass it back over to you.
Thanks, Valerie. Okay, so let's get going. I do like to start all of my trainings with our financial social work affirmation. It goes like this, and I do feel that it captures everything I've been trying to accomplish over the past 2.5 decades. Just for today, I will love myself enough to face my fears, practice self-acceptance, and embrace hope. I'll silence my inner critic, speak my truth, and make peace with myself and with my past. Just for today, I will give myself permission to eliminate toxic people, beliefs, and behaviors from my life. And just for today, I will prepare for a better tomorrow by healing my relationship with my money and myself today. So I'm going to start off with some audience participation discussion. Here we have a graphic, and I'm asking you, what does it feel like to you to be living in a country gone rogue? regardless of your political affiliations, what do you think the impact will be for social work and social workers as these various parts of our lives are influenced by the economy and by the administration? Put your answers in the question box, and Linda will be sharing them with you, all of us, as they come in.
Okay, thank you all for jumping on that. The need for social workers will greatly increase. It feels like I'm watching my profession disappear. Burnout. Oh, these are coming in faster than I can read them. I think there are going to be a lot of people needing resources that may or may not be there. There will be more people in need of resources for employment, bill payment, mental health, burnout, feeling pretty powerless, loss of valuable programs, uncertain, chaotic, increased anxiety. I feel like I'm in a dystopian novel. Higher rates of homelessness, mental health concerns. It feels like a stressful time to be alive and helping others while trying to help ourselves. I'm in private practice and many of my clients are struggling, overwhelmed and scared. Feels like the meme where the dog is sitting at a table and the kitchen is on fire and the dog says, "This is fine." Many less people of color, LGBTQ plus social workers in the field, additional barriers among clients. One word here, helplessness. Out of control, nerve-wracking. Many social workers will probably lose their jobs, funding, more difficult finding social work jobs. I feel very uneasy. I feel like our clients will be stressed in many ways, financially, for sure. This has hurt vulnerable populations even more. Scary. It will be heavily impacted. Ooh, my older clients are freaking out. I'm deeply concerned for any of my people. I'm very unpredictable and unstable. I think social workers are essential in these times to deal with trauma, life changes, firings, grief and loss, particularly regarding federal workforce and careers. We have to handle our own feelings and emotions as well as our clients' needs. It's important to have conversations about self-disclosure. It feels like we're going backwards. We are needed more than ever.
Wow, wow. I'm sure you could go on. I love it when everybody has a place to share and to vent. It is, those are all the feelings I have. And it's very overwhelming. And we're going to be talking about that, all of those things right now. So, our topic is who needs financial social work? But here's a better question: who doesn't need financial social work? And really, when I started planning this, probably 3 to 6 months ago, obviously, we weren't where the country is today. But the timing of this is really kind of perfect because today we are all living with much more uncertainty than we ever did before. So, a lot of people ask me, why do I do financial social work? Well, I started all of this a very long time ago, but the number one reason that it's so relevant today, as it has been over these past decades, is the need, and the fact that the need is greater now than it even was before. And there's always been tremendous need. So I do it so we can address financial problems and stress, promote mental and emotional well-being, advance social and economic justice, empower clients. These are all really important now. I also do it because of the very strong and too often neglected fact that money or relationship between money and mental health. I do it because financial abuse is real. So is financial shaming, but so are the feelings of shame that accompany financial problems. And certainly I do it because financial trauma is very real and it creates stress, anxiety, headaches, all kinds of problems. So identifying the root causes of financial insecurity are going to be different for each population, but low income is certainly a major contributor. And credit card debt, which is higher than it's ever been in history, is another one. And we'll be drilling down some on some of these issues. So you all know that social and economic justice come under attack in 2025 when funding was really just disappeared and programs were eliminated in all of these specific sectors. Yes, I feel under attack, but this means that all of us in social and human service sectors have to find ways to mitigate these problems. We have to adapt to changing times. What other alternatives are there than to figure out how to navigate these changing economic and political times to best serve our clients and our profession? Coping with the emotional toll of feeling undervalued personally and professionally. What are we doing with that? I want to discuss with you today how financial social work can change the narrative regarding our professional responsibilities and concerns. But first, I'd like you to share with me your personal feelings regarding the assault on our profession, our livelihoods, our dedication, and even our identities. Linda, are people jumping on this one too?
We've got, let's see, anger. I think the whole world is frustration. This doesn't seem new. I feel quite angry. An attack on humanity. This is outrageous. I work with queer people and we all feel so unsafe. It's hurtful, demoralizing. I'm deeply saddened. Social work is not understood by many. Sad. Questioning if I need to make a career change. I have to go. Looking forward to the next thing. Surreal, disbelief. Our society does not support anyone who is not wealthy. Incredibly scary time to be trans, concerned that by now my fate might be sealed. Frustrated, saddened, disappointed.
Those are all legitimate. And I know that probably everyone else on the training shares those feelings. I know I do, all of them. So let me see. How can I get going here? Hello. Okay. So some strategies for coping with feeling undervalued personally and professionally. We need to remember why we chose this profession. And one of the answers you read, Lynn, was the thought to change professions. We chose this profession we each choose it for a different reason, but mostly all of those reasons are because we want to make a difference in the world. And that's what we're trying to do. So it's hurtful when we come under attack and feel undervalued personally and professionally. Acknowledge the emotional impact. I think we could use a whole hour here of everyone being able to share those feelings and explore them and discuss them with each other. But we have to acknowledge them and be honest about it. We need to reconnect and reaffirm our purpose and mission. Why did we choose this profession? What do we want from it? What do we want to do with it? We have to build collective resilience. We need to come together and navigate these difficult times through collective resilience. We need to turn frustration into action through advocacy and education. We need to set boundaries, personal boundaries and financial boundaries. And we need to practice authentic self-care, which does not involve manis, pennies, petties, or haircuts. And we need to shift the narrative and elevate the profession. One of the answers you read, Lynn, talked about the profession is not understood, and that is a problem for social work and social workers. A simple truth is that no one chooses to have money problems, but most people do. And when they do, that's accompanied with anxiety, fear, worry, problems, financial unwellness. In 2025, the average salary in the US exceeds $60,000, yeah, more, and more people are struggling financially. 77% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And some of you shared earlier the knowledge or the question and concern of what happens when there is no more paycheck. They are very alarming times. So who are the people in this country who need financial social work? Well, here's a starting list. Who else would you like to have added to this list? If there are others, you can share your answers in the question box for Linda to share with us.
And we have answers. Right now, everyone needs financial social work. Social workers, immigrants, veterans, patients with increased medical bills, those experiencing a medical crisis, school-age children, start them early, people with disabilities, undocumented folks, students in high school, elderly, clients with mental health needs, people who've lost their job, those with dependent parents or children, older adults who still carry loans, people, everybody can bet, seniors, people impacted by natural disasters, those who are disabled, with disabilities, anyone, pregnant individuals, people with disposable income struggling to figure out how to share their wealth. I believe that many people live beyond their means, people concerned with losses in the market and how to manage how to move forward, elderly, children, disabled individuals, the average human, seniors, college graduates, the mentally ill, those in child welfare, college system, college students,
Well,
seniors needing Medicaid, and everyone.
Yeah, we can make it really simple and say everyone, but then I wouldn't need to do the training, and I still have lots more to teach. So we're going to keep going. Thank you, Lynn. So I just wanted to share with you that we are known to work with vulnerable, low-income clients, and the cash poor Americans, those without enough liquid cash on hand to cover unplanned expenses, often were unable to cover the average emergency in 2024. So cash poor Americans find themselves relying on subprime credit cards, and as a 90% fee of the principal borrowed. I just wanted this out there for all of you. So if you're working with clients and they talk about these terms, that you're familiar with them. Payday loans are among the very, very worst. If you can get clients to avoid payday loans. It's a really good thing. Buy now, pay later. Here's my feelings on that. It's not a good option. On top of the 45% due to interest and additional fees, I read just this week that credit agencies will now be putting your buy now, pay later purchases into your credit score, and that is not going to be helpful in the least. Earned wage access, the ability to take the money you've earned before payday, that's on the rise, and it causes lots of problems for clients for the simple reason that they forget they took that money and they're expecting their full paycheck. But that's not what they're going to get. Small bank loans are on the rise, peer-to-peer loans, friends and family. These statistics are definitely on the rise. So let's take a look at how and why financial social work is unique. It is a holistic approach. It's a behavioral approach too, because it focuses on sustainable long-term financial behavioral change. From that holistic approach, the fact that it's more than just financial education, we go beyond dollars, cents, debt, budgets. We go to the thoughts, feelings, attitudes, beliefs. That's psychosocial piece that determines our financial behavior. And financial social workers personalize the work they do, and it is very client-centered support. It's trauma-informed and emotionally supportive. This is what clients need. Would we like them to have a budget? Everyone should have a budget. Fewer than 50% of people even try to make a budget, and fewer of that 50% maintain that budget. But we have to help clients understand the benefits of having a budget. So it is trauma-informed and emotionally supportive. It addresses systemic and structural barriers. That's so important. It's just going beyond the dollar cents, debt, budgets, math. It's long-term support and advocacy. That's absolutely what everyone needs to create sustainable change. It serves vulnerable populations better, but it is not exclusively for low-end clients. It's for everyone. It encourages self-sufficiency and empowerment. It empowers individuals by giving them those tools, confidence, and emotional support. And it promotes financial resilience, self-advocacy, and goal setting. This crisis intervention and immediate support, and it's very comprehensive. These are all things that make financial social work unique. So all of you pitched in before on who else needed financial social work. Here we have individuals and families living in poverty, people facing debt and financial hardship, unemployed or underemployed individuals, survivors of domestic violence and abuse, certainly people with mental health and substance abuse issues, the homeless and at-risk populations, older adults and retirees, formerly incarcerated individuals, refugees and immigrants, young adults, and college students. So would we think that this is a comprehensive list? Well, I decided to share with you the fact that as social workers, we need financial social work. Why? To prepare for personal and financial stability, certainly improve career readiness and job opportunities, better serve clients' needs, grow financial knowledge and skills, and empower clients to move from surviving to thriving. And it benefits financial social work, benefits the social work profession by broadening the scope of the work we do. It increases awareness of economic challenges, improves client outcomes, and enhances the profession as a whole. We have, as social workers, the education, the skills, the tools, the information to be able to help people change. Financial social work adds the financial component so that we can be better at helping clients, because while most clients don't present with financial problems, the underlying issues behind those problems are almost always have a financial component. So how and why agencies and organizations benefit from financial social work: improved client outcomes, addresses funding priorities, enhances service delivery, and supports professional development in agencies and organizations. It's helpful to policymakers because it can help reduce poverty, advance financial inclusion, strengthen the social safety net, and foster economic stability. It increases financial stability, improves psychosocial well-being, enhances decision making, and supports economic mobility. Financial social work is applicable to all of the work that social workers do. So let's just take a quick look at what it is, what it does, and who needs it, when, and why. We know that no one chooses to have money problems, but most people do. When you have these problems and trauma, stress, and anxiety from money, you need trustworthy, reliable professionals with whom to process all things monetary. You need a safe, non-judgmental space where you can talk about, learn, and process everything having to do with money. Everyone needs someone somewhere to share their money secrets and questions, the ones that they've been hiding from or avoiding all of their lives. They need someone who practices financial social work, which is inclusive and available to everyone. It is a behavioral model that is heavily psychosocial, because until and unless behavior changes, nothing changes. And for me, financial behavior is represented by how one earns, spends, saves, shares, and borrows. So financial social workers are agents of financial change, committed to gender, social, and economic justice. We address money and mental health, advocate for marginalized groups, help clients cope, heal, and deal with their money and mental health. And we work to repair our own and our clients' relationship with money and self. You can read what it's all about, but I do want to point out that financial social work is at the intersection of social work, our career, plus politics, the economy, gender, racial, social, economic, other able justice, and climate change, and mental health and financial inequity. So, social work meets money right here. If you're not familiar with the 12 grand challenges, and I know there's other numbers for grand challenges, but if you look at these, you will see that every single one has a dollar cost and requirement. Same with the core areas of social work. All of them have a financial component. And my little 3 practice areas down here in the left-hand corner is to indicate that financial social work has a prominent place on the micro, meso, and macro levels of our profession. So here we have Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And if you look at the social determinants of health, which is such an integral part of our profession, you can see again how important finance is there. So as we meet the client where he or she is, we help clients improve their financial health. It is a structural component of the profession. It offers comprehensive and ethical client services. And as the ages of change, we have a responsibility to modernize social work to better serve the financial requirements of today's social workers and clients. Just had to grab a quick break. Let's keep going. We do have a personal, professional, and ethical responsibility to ourselves and our clients. So let's take a look at some of the systemic financial challenges all of us encounter. There is definitely rising credit card. I believe I already mentioned that there's more credit card debt today than ever in history. We know we have rising food prices. We've had them for quite some time, and they're likely to get worse or more expensive. We have the escalating cost of living, growing homelessness, predatory lending. It's a really bad thing. I always get caught up here, but I better not get into it. It is. If you can get clients to afford payday loans, be sure to do that. Identity theft is a huge issue. Last month's monthly free webinar was on identity theft, and that recording is on the website if you were unable to attend. Growing food insecurity as federal money is disappearing from our food banks. Education costs. We all know about education costs. I do see some potential movement with some colleges and universities trying to structure free tuition for those with incomes below $100,000. We'll see how that goes. But meanwhile, millions of people are living with student debt that they can't pay off. And student debt has never been a part of bankruptcy. So you can't get rid of it through bankruptcy. Rising healthcare costs and diminishing healthcare treatment availability, insurance availability, wages. It's really hard to keep up with all of the other expenses based on our wages. Interest rates, the interest rates on credit cards today are over 20%. It would be very good if we could help people understand how much that's costing them by paying over 20% interest on their purchases when they don't pay off their credit cards. Climate change is not something that we talk a lot right now about in the profession, but it's having a serious impact on many of low income and other clients that we work with. Immigration status, there's just nothing I can say on that. I have to assume everybody knows what's going on with immigration. Reproductive rights, same issues. But these are systemic financial challenges that all of us are facing right now. And with the elimination of DEI, lots of interesting things are happening. Walmart's income was down, revenue was down, and other stores that Costco did not eliminate DEI, and their customers have heavily supported them and increased their revenue. Government subsidies are definitely a very precarious part of the systemic financial challenges we're experiencing, because without them, our clients and organizations and agencies are in big trouble. I don't think I really talked much about financial profiling today, but we are all profiled financially, and that means our credit score is shared with so many places, and the outcome is that it determines our credit rating. So let's move on to factors that influence financial behavior. Family, definitely. Gender, absolutely. Age, generation, life cycle, for sure, a strong influence. We have marital status, that is very much an influence on your financial status. Factors that influence financial behavior, your financial experiences, your religion and culture, society, what is happening in society, who's saying what, who's doing what and thinking what. These things all affect us and influence our financial behavior. Insurance, health insurance, home insurance, medical insurance, car insurance, race, and health. Now we'll talk a little bit about financial literacy, because without any money management training, Americans are expected to know what to do when they have more money than money, debt than assets, and more financial problems than solutions. Financial literacy places everyone at constant risk for these. This is only a sampling of some of the risks we face, and more so our clients face, because they don't know more about money. The outcomes of financial literacy are many, and none of them are good. Lots and lots of negative outcomes. the estimated average cost of financial illiteracy between 2019 and 2024 said that it cost Americans over $1,000 in 2024 to be financially illiterate. And I think that's a low estimate. And I'm not really going to spend time here, but I thought I'd give you a quick view of the most and least financially literate states in the country. And you can always, we will be sending everyone a recording of today's webinar, and you can always watch it and return to see anything you'd like to know more about, since I can't stop on every slide. I created this whole person financial health model several years ago to help simplify this process, that it's the whole person. It's not just the dollars and cents. Yes, it has to do with money, but it also has to do with the relationship we have with ourselves and the relationship we have with our money. It's behavior. What are we doing with our money? Other people influence our decisions directly and indirectly. Society bombards us constantly with these messages. And the life cycle, where are you in the life cycle? That's going to determine, do you have children? Are you elderly? Are you getting married? Are you going to college? And our health, financial stress is detrimental to physical, mental, emotional, psychological, and social well-being. We'll take a quick look at chronic financial stress syndrome, which is something I created several years ago, this concept that is. And then we'll look at some strategies for helping clients with these different issues. So financial illiteracy causes financial problems, which so many people choose to avoid and ignore. They can't take the stress and anxiety. So then the financial problems escalate, and they contribute to physical, mental, and emotional problems. And that leads to avoidance and denial. And it leads to something that I've named the money disconnect, because you're just not paying attention to what's happening with your finances. And that allows them to escalate and spiral out of control. And that is going to impact home and work life and contribute to chronic financial stress syndrome. So this is, for a definition, result of spending money you didn't have or hadn't earned. And you can see in this graphic, it can raise your blood pressure, and it just has many negative effects on your state of mind. It can contribute to depression. It's a conundrum because things that cause depression and anxiety may cause death, and death may cause depression and anxiety. It is a vicious cycle. And I wanted to show you some of the research here that says that these various physical problems are created by chronic financial stress syndrome. Headaches, migraines, heart problems, ulcers, muscle tension, severe depression. The list goes on. When debt happens, its adverse impact is swift, severe, and potentially forever. At the end of World War II, the United States began building its consumer economy. That's more and more people buying more and more stuff, more and more often, and I might add, more and more stuff they really don't need. First came homes in the suburbs, refrigerators and automobiles. Then came televisions to tell us everything we should want. And we should buy things we didn't need with money we didn't have. And the history of credit cards is actually very interesting. But they allow everyone to buy today and pay tomorrow. They make that the new normal. And by depending on tomorrow's dollars to pay for today's consumption, we have become a nation built on debt. And it's a problem. These are some more statistics on credit cards. 1 in 5 people has $10,000 to $30,000 in credit card debt. 1 in 3 credit card holders have maxed out their credit cards in recent years. A lot of identity theft, a lot of people waking up every day to see how they can hurt the rest of us, steal from us, give us problems. There is a definite relationship between debt, trauma, money, and mental health. You can see it affects you physically, mentally, and emotionally, also socially, and beyond. So we have to factor in financial behavioral health. So why do we have these problems? Well, you can see there's no shortage of reasons. Which of these do you think is most responsible? Go ahead and put it in the question box if you want to indicate.
Okay. Depression, student debt, stagnant wages, consumerism, and social media. All of it. No budget, healthcare costs, predators, and lack of financial literacy. Fewer safety nets, stagnant wages, consumerism, so easy to finance, healthcare, lots of social media, 72-month car loans,
Ridiculous.
lots of financial illiteracy, low wages, all of it, consumerism, healthcare costs.
And the list goes on.
Yes.
1 or 2 more, Lynn?
Political changes, more social media, credit card debt, everything on this list, hope for a quick fix or fast money, emotional emptiness, climate disasters, fear of missing out, keeping up with the Joneses, generational poverty, rent, student debt, systemic inequality, lack of spirituality, student loan debt, college costs are outrageous, unpaid internships, lack of
Whoa. Yes. That definitely resonates with me. Not for me personally, but it is an issue in our profession. And I have talked about before and written about it and done different things because we do need to come together around free internships. But I would like to finish and see if we have any questions. Thanks, Lynn. You are a great audience. Thank you for participating.
You know what? I would also like to add that we're getting a lot of answers to these questions that focus on increased gambling activities and overall increase in criminal behavior. Since that's come up often, I just wanted to add it.
Really interesting. The whole gambling thing is so out of control. It is. I'm glad you did. You can see This list could go on and on. The gambling, sports gambling especially. There's a lot of issues. And very early on, someone put it in the question box. You read it, Lynn, that, but no, yeah, I have to tell you. There's a lot of issues around all of this. And I thank all of you for your participation. And I hope you're going to feel that, this was really worthwhile attending, because I'd love to share this information. It's so important. We have nearly 1 in 3 Americans workers running out of money before payday, even those earning over $100,000. There's a lot going on for us and for our clients and organizations. 90% of Americans say money impacts their stress level. So this is a thriving wallet survey. And I'm certainly not going to go through all of this, but I will point out that 40% wish that they could have a refresh, a final financial restart. Lots of concerns around these issues. And this one I thought was really telling. Financial stress is either very or extremely influential on many major life milestones and everyday activities. So 28% of Americans are putting off marriage because of their debt, putting off having or adopting children, car purchases, retirement. And this is only really from more traditional times, you can see this was from May of 2024. Things are changing pretty quickly. And I just wanted to share with you that you can change the relationship with money, change your relationship with self, change your thinking, and change your behavior. This is the behavioral framework for coping with financial stress. Now let's finish up with some coping strategies for you and for your clients. Know that you are not your debt, but get acquainted with your debt. Know how much you have, who you owe it to, why you owe it to them. Resist shame, blame, and guilt. Those are negative and are only going to hold you back. Take financial self-care seriously. Identify your specific financial stressors, triggers. Create and use a plan for avoiding those stressors and triggers. Create and embrace a new financial normal, and then take ownership of your new financial future. Find the courage to be imperfect. We are all imperfect. Forgive yourself your imperfections. Learn from them and move on. Provide a safe, non-judgmental space for clients to learn, talk about, and process their money issues. Embrace hope, accept you deserve better, address your personal financial trauma, set personal and financial boundaries, forgive yourself for past financial mistakes. Never, never, never confuse your self-worth with your net worth. Be honest with yourself about your finances. Help clients do the same. Give permission to nurture your financial well-being. Give clients that permission also. And recognize that everyone is responsible for their own healing and change process. So before Q&A, I did just feel I should put out some of these terms, and you could go back and watch the video if you want to see what the details are about. But tariffs, inflation, shrinkflation, the bull and bear market, GDP, these are terms you're going to be hearing a lot about, and they will be influencing our lives as social workers and our clients' lives. I wanted to point out that we also have these other services. We have a directory, we have a client wellness magazine, we have a partner program, and these 4 special women at the bottom have created the Financial Social Work Collaborative, and that's for our students and graduates, and they schedule time each month and for networking, additional training, mentoring. It's a great group and an important part of what we offer. It is free. We now have financial social work video courses, and that we have, this is very exciting, coming soon will be our video program on couples and money. So these new CEO video programs for different client populations will be continuously added because we know people like to learn from videos. Next month's free webinar is 5 money languages to improve financial communication for couples. And after that, in June, we are launching our financial social work micro, meso, and macro practice textbook. That's a really big deal for us, and I would love you to join us. We will likely have books to give away and a discount for the textbook. So be sure and join us for that. So a few things to remember about money. No one chooses to have money problems, most people do. There is a strong connection between money and mental health, and now is the time to invite greater financial health and wellness into everything you do, practice, casework, client work, classrooms, workplaces, communities. This is what the textbook is going to look like. And this is a comparison chart between the videos and the certification program. And my big announcement today, we try to do this twice a year, offer a $200 discount on the cost of the certification that does include 20 CEUs. And that discount code is 202504, webinar 202504. And it is good through April 18 at midnight. And here is our final slide. Lynn, are there any pressing questions? I know we're at 3 o'clock exactly.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, Rita, if you could address 2 logistical issues. How to, the slides, people want the slides, a recording, and how to access their CE.
Great, thanks. That's important. You will get an email with the CE about an hour after we finish here. And what else? What was the other question?
The recording. People want the slides and the recording.
Okay,
So
the slides are proprietary. It takes me days, weeks, months to create these decks, but you will receive the recording probably on Monday, if not Monday, Tuesday, and it will be up then on our website and our YouTube channel. So does that answer everything?
I believe so. We do have some interesting questions, and to those who have posed questions, given our time frame, and also Rita, there's a lot of thank yous too. So, and for those who good, lots of thank yous, and oh, I know what I was going to say. For those of you who didn't get a question answered today, I would encourage you to schedule some time with Rita. Go on the website, schedule some time on her calendar, and have a good chat with her about questions. And thank you for your enthusiasm. Thank you for your engagement. And thank you for being such a wonderful audience.
Thank you, Linda Benjamin, for your help with this. That was a great closing. I have nothing better to say or contribute. Thanks everybody for taking the time. I really enjoyed sharing this time with you, and I hope we'll see you back here or have you become a certified financial social worker. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye now.